Hello, welcome to the One I Have Spare Time podcast. My name is Frank, and I'll be sitting here talking to you for a few minutes. As usual, I'm wearing clothes. I'm wearing a Shiriong pullover. She's an Itsy. She's really good looking. She's hot. On a scale of 1 to 10, she's, I don't know, 9. Granted, most K-pop idols are in that range. Anyway, and I'm wearing a Mighty Ducks hat. So anytime I can talk about a Mexican, I would take that chance, right? So anyway, Miss Mexico, right now she's or was in the Miss Universe contest, and one of the executives in charge of the contest is taking place in Thailand, the capital of ladyboys. The world revolves around Thailand because it's the ladyboy capital. Anyway, all the Miss Universe contestants were supposed to take pictures and promote Thailand on their Instagram. And a lot of countries do this. Like Israel does this a lot, where they'll have mostly American celebrities, and they'll let them stay there for free and, give them the best, 5-star hotel treatment, all that bullshit. And in exchange, they have to post on X and Instagram every day about how wonderful Israel is. Yeah. Seems forced, I know. Anyway, but to be in this Miss Universe pageant, the agreement is you have to post about it. And so I guess Miss Mexico wasn't doing it. And so one of the executives called her a dummy. And because she's a woman, you can't call her a dummy. That's basically the gist of it. I'm a woman. You can't call me a dummy. And so everyone walked out, in protest and all that drama. But I know I could have just read the article, but I didn't. I didn't want to. It started to make me think, are Mexicans stupid? So the average Mexican's IQ is 95, apparently. Now, that's not stupid, it's just average. But based on personal experience, I think it's 75. I think they're lying about that. And also, is Miss Mexico whatever really Mexican? Because when I think of a Mexican, I think of this. Okay? And usually the hat's bigger. Or I think of this. I think of right? Isn't this like your average Mexican? Right? Just saying. So when you show me this, is she really Mexican? Okay, so maybe she was born in Mexico, but she is 100% Spanish. Like, she is related to the group of Spaniards that came over there and lived there, and they just stayed with the Spaniards. Like, she is 100% Christopher Columbus. There is no way she's Mexican. There is no way you go from this to this. Okay, so I you're shitting me, right? This is a Spanish woman. This is a woman from Spain. This is a white woman. That's a white woman. Okay, so I don't know how you go from this to this. Okay, so first of all, we're being scammed. This is not Miss Mexico. This is Miss I don't know, Meredith, New Hampshire. This is someone from Spain or some white chick from Albuquerque. Okay? If you told me that her name was Melissa Johnson from Maine, I'd be like, yeah, okay. But if you're telling me her name is Conchita Benita Dolores, I'm like, no, you're full of shit. Okay? So But the only reason why it's a story is because a man told a woman she's a dummy. Now, how many times do men get called names? Oh, it wants me to log in to look at pictures of Miss Mexico on Facebook. Well, that's lame. I don't know. Anyway, how many men get called names every day, and like it doesn't make the news? Men don't protest. Their feelings aren't hurt. They just exist. They keep on going on with their day. But for some reason, when Miss Mexico gets called a dummy because she's not filling her duties as a contestant, you get articles. Like there's, I mean, it doesn't matter, right? You don't have to see it. There's like hundreds of news articles about Miss Mexico being called a dummy, and there's hundreds of YouTube videos of her, Fatima Bosch, about how she was a woman and she had to stand up for women because she got called. Give me a break. Men get called names every day. You don't see men having walkouts, having protest. Like it's really. I think it's more embarrassing for women that this became a news story. And once again, how do you go from that to this? To this. Okay, she's not Mexican. Okay, this is a Mexican woman. This is a white woman. Anyway, I don't understand why women. Well, I do understand. Men and women aren't equal, because if men and women were equal, it would either be someone calls me a dummy, and we hold a press conference, or someone calls her a dummy, and she goes on with her day. Okay, that's why men and women are not equal, because women, you do or whatever, suffer one whatever name call, and I don't even want to call that an injustice. It's just a part of life. So you get called a name. The world shouldn't end because you get called a name. But for some reason, if it's a woman, okay, or just go to other things. Like when there's a I don't know, like a all female airplane crew or whatever. Oh yeah, like a female pilot crew. They're like, it's history, and then like they have news articles and videos, but then like they've had men flying planes since the beginning. That didn't make the news. Like, why is it a big deal if it's like a male co-pilot and a male pilot? But why is it a big deal if it's a female co-pilot and a female pilot? It shouldn't, but because men and women aren't equal, it's a big deal because women are probably too stupid. Because you're only making it a big deal because they're not capable, and so that makes me think, yes, Miss Mexico is stupid. She is a dummy, and he had every right to call her a dummy. Think about like crime. Think about I was watching. It doesn't matter. It was Chicago, and it was just a problem solving itself. It was just blacks killing blacks. Okay, but it was a carjacking, and a woman was involved in the crime, and so even though it's only one person that actually does the crime, if he had or she whatever had people with them, they all get charged the same crime, and they usually all get the same time. So anyway, it was like one of the guys. I think it was three guys and a girl. It's like one guy got charged for murder. It's like whatever, like 75 years in jail. The other two guys is like 25 years in jail. The girl gets probation. It's like, what? I'm not kidding. She got probation. She got probation. So that right there shows that men and women aren't equal. Same crime. The guy who pulled the trigger, whatever, gone for life. Then the other two, 25 years. The girl probation. Now, I don't know if there was a plea deal and she gave some information. Maybe. I don't know. I wasn't watching it like that. But I'm just saying, even if it did give information, that's enough for whatever. So anyway, men and women just aren't equal. She's not Mexican. You will not convince me that this is a Mexican. Her name was Sarah Jennings. Okay? And she's from Newborn, Ohio. I'm sorry, Fairborn, Ohio. Newborn, Ohio. I said newborn because, subconsciously when I say Mexican, I just think, oh, she must be pregnant. But yeah, so now if you told me this was Miss Mexico, I'd have been like, yeah, I get it. I totally get it. This is the best they got. They would put her in a dress, and then I guess instead of having the crown, it'd be like a bedazzled sombrero, right? Has some mace, has some tacos in here and some burritos. There you go, a Mexican woman. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, so this needs to be walking down the runway. This come on. Just saying. This white woman. Okay, well, I think that's Asian. I can't. You know what? The problem is with these races? When they get brown, they kind of all look the same. So I don't know what this is. Okay. Okay, that's a Mexican woman, but she has some a little bit of conqueror in her. Anyway, you get the point. Miss Mexico is one, she's not really Mexican, but two, she is stupid, and three, men and women are not equal. Okay, I think I've made my point. If you have any complaints, talk to someone who cares, because I don't. Peace.